Yeah, just really excited to be here. Appreciate everybody being on behalf of our football team, our administration, Western Kentucky. We're just really excited to be a part of this game and really looking forward to Friday and getting an opportunity to play a great UTSA team and just really looking forward to this opportunity. It's been a long year, been a lot of ups and downs, but it's been a fun ride and really looking towards Friday. With that said, questions.
And we'll go ahead and start with Ken Capps from the FWAA, and then we'll follow that up with Ryder Martin.
Hey, Coach. Ken Capps from Football Writers of America. Congratulations on your season. The combination of Zeppi to Stearns has been quite amazing for you this year, and they're both right there at the top or near the top of their respective quarterback and receiving categories in the NCAA. There's some out there, though, that say, well, they're playing against lesser competition, so it doesn't really count. How would you answer that question?
Tell them to watch the Michigan State game at Michigan State. I think that's pretty good competition. And I think that those stats speak for themselves. And then, you go on the road at Army, second game of the season, 20-year anniversary of 9/11. Tough environment to play at the time. They were on a win streak that was pretty long, and I thought that was another good example. Come home, play a really good Indiana team at the time who should have beat Cincinnati the week before at home. And so I think it really didn't matter who we played. Like you said, that's a great combination. That's a great duo. Very, very talented group of guys, and not only Bailey and Jareth, but a lot of these other targets with a Mitchell Tinsley and a Malachi Corley. And and a Daywood Davis. So, I think there's a lot of body of work there that shows that these guys are the best in the country when it comes to that duo and that tandem.
Thank you. We'll go to our next question from Ryder Martin from the Paisano. Ryder, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Ryder Martin, Paisano. Congrats on your season so far. So you guys played a very entertaining game against these runners back in October, but since then you guys have won 7 straight to get to this game. For any fans that may be in San Antonio that haven't been following your program since then, what has really changed and grown about your program to get you guys to this game?
Well, I think early in the season, we played some really tough opponents back to back, and when everybody was healthy, and I think those losses really helped make us stronger and bring us tighter together and allowed us to reevaluate our strengths and our weaknesses. And and UTSA is an exceptional football team, and what a great game that was during the regular season. And I think we came out of that game, saying, hey, this is at the time and still today the best team in Conference USA, and really felt like we could have won that football game and should have won that football game. And I think history, you learn a lot about yourself, and I think we've grown so much as a team, and really from the UTSA game on, we knew we were in control of our destiny if we could put all the pieces together, and found a way to put all those pieces together. And it's been a fun ride, and it's great to have an opportunity to play UTSA again. You don't see that a lot where you get that same matchup again. So it's going to make for an exciting game for sure.
Thank you, Coach. We'll move on to Greg Luca from the San Antonio Express News. Greg, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Greg Luca with the Express News here. I wanted to ask, how much of a factor do you think is the potential crowd noise in the Alamo Dome for the way your offense operates, and what steps are you guys taking to prepare for that?
Really good question. I fully anticipate it's going to be a great environment, electric environment. I've been in that stadium before. It's very loud because it is a dome. I think it's going to be a great crowd, so I do think crowd noise will play very much into it. We're we're a silent count team, a clap team, all those kind of things. So, we'll have answers for that. But, I do think that crowd noise will definitely be a factor in this game for sure. And we've been preparing for that in our daily practice routine. And, our guys have been in a lot of big stadiums. They've played in front of a lot of big crowds. And so I don't think it'll affect them from that standpoint. But I do anticipate it being a loud stadium and an electric environment for sure.
Thank you, Coach. We've got our next question from JJ Perez of Inside Runner Sports. JJ, you can go ahead.
Hey, Coach. JJ Perez, Inside Runner Sports. Congratulations on your season. What did you learn about your team in that Roadrunner game? Is there anything you could take away from that first matchup to help you on Friday?
Yeah, the biggest thing was don't let them throw the ball over our head at will. That was the biggest thing. Man, what really good receivers they got. Quarterback Harris is spectacular, and you can go on and on about the running back. And so, I thought we did a lot of really good things in that game, but one of those things that really stood out was they really took advantage of the explosive plays, especially down the field. We played a lot of one-on-one matchups outside, and Harris and the outside receivers did a great job of taking advantage of that. And really, we had good coverage, and they still made it happen. They still made the plays. And so, if we can try to limit those this time around, that would really help us. Try to make them go the distance a little bit. They do a great job offensively of creating the one-on-one matchups, no matter what you do. So we're going to have to defend them. But probably that would be the biggest thing taking away was they were able to create so many explosive plays down the field in that game and get some quick scores. So it made it hard for our offense. We were able to counter back a lot of times, but if we can just limit those plays, that would be great. I don't, again, I'm going to give them a lot of credit. I think it's going to be a great matchup, and they're going to make their plays, and they're still going to have explosive plays and those kind of things. But just be able to, our number one motto here is get to the last 5 minutes of the game. If you get to the last 5 minutes of the game and you're in it, then you got a great chance to win it. A lot of games are lost before the last 5 minutes. So that's a big thing for us is let's get to the last 5 minutes and then go win the game.
Thank you, Coach. We've got Hector Ledesma from Sports Tonight in San Antonio. And a reminder, we've got a few minutes left here with Coach Helton. So if you have a question, please make sure you utilize the chat function to let me know, and we'll call on you before we wrap up and move on. Thank you. Hector, you can go ahead.
Coach, thanks for the time this morning.
Yes, sir.
Wondering, with UTSA having clinched the West Division a couple of weeks ago, how much scouting, how much prep went into the Roadrunners? I know you used to have the game with Marshall ahead coming this past weekend, but with UTSA knowing that it had punched its ticket, wondering how much prep started going into the moment they beat UAB.
Well, the one benefit we have, just because there's so much carryover of teams we play and they play in those matchups, and you're watching the cut-ups and all those things, you continuously get to see the teams that you play on film. So you may be game planning for another opponent, but at the same time, you're taking notes on the what ifs. Okay, what if we see this team again? And so I think our coordinators and our staff have done a great job of always keeping tabs and making sure we see the adjustments of the teams that we played from the previous time, and UTSA is no different there. So I do think that full body of work over the weeks since we played them, of continuing to see their film, and our staff making sure they take those notes. And it's not just them, it's any other potential games that we might be in, and you're looking at next year and all those kind of things. It's just a part of the process for us. So it did help for game planning purposes for this game for sure, gave us a head start.
All right, and we'll go back to Greg Luca for another question. Greg?
Coach, your guys' offense is a very different challenge from what UTSA faces on a week-to-week basis, just with how fast you guys play and the amount of passing that goes into it. I'm wondering if there's any concern about a team having seen that before being able to adjust to it, or if there's anything that you guys have to sort of tweak to kind of work around that dynamic of a team that's already been on the field with you guys and seen what you can do.
Yeah, really good question. That's always in the back of our minds every week, because no matter what we see on film, we know there's a good chance we're going to see something different when we play that team. There's always going to be a change up there. Again, I think credit to our offensive staff. They do such a great job of having plan A, plan B, plan C. I think back to the UTSA game, early in the game, they came out and they said, we're going to play drop 8. We're going to be soft. We're not going to let you throw it. And we had success running the football. And so we took what they gave us there. And then in the second half, they kind of got more into who they are and what they do. And they had some more success defending us in that area. So we see that every week to week, even from first half to second half. I think Bailey does a great job of getting us in the right place. He's not a selfish player by any means. If you give us a good box, he's going to hand the ball off. He is going to take what you give him. And so I would expect, though, UTSA to try to do some things that would try to give us problems and issues. And we just got to be able to counter that. And it's kind of like a chess match, for every time they make a move, we got to make a move. So that'll be the fun part of the game for sure.